This will be a revisit of the Kern Spencer Cuban light bulb trial and verdict.
Once a promising politician with a bright future, former Junior Energy Minister Kern Spencer had his light put out when he was caught up in a scandal involving missing Cuban light bulbs.
Teach them! Always make sure the message reach them!
For nearly 6 years, allegations of corruption swirled around him. But Kern Spencer, the former Junior Energy Minister, walked out of the corporate-era criminal court a free man in 2014 as the keenly watched Cuban light bulb trial ended.
At times I'm a bit bitter because I feel as if at the prime time of my life, when I should be moving forward, 6 years were taken from my life. And I always knew on the onset that I was not guilty, or I did not do the things that they said that I did. So I just want to really give God the glory today. God the glory.
The former People's National Party Member of Parliament and his former personal assistant, Colleen Wright, had been on corruption charges arising from the distribution of 4 million free energy-saving Cuban light bulbs that ended up costing taxpayers just over $276.5 million Jamaican dollars. The two had been on trial since 2009. Spencer was slapped with the following charges: 6 counts of money laundering, 2 counts of conspiracy to defraud, and 1 count of a breach of the Prevention of Corruption Act. This is a summarized version of the timeline of the case. On the 23rd of October 2007, questions first surfaced about the Cuban light bulb program when Energy Minister Clive Mullins told the House of Representatives that the previous People's National Party administration racked up a bill of more than $276.5 million for the distribution of more than 4 million free light bulbs donated by the Cuban government. On the 7th of November 2007, Kern Spencer, then Junior Minister with responsibility for the project, openly wept in Parliament after Mullins informed the House that the Police Fraud Squad and the Office of the Director of Public Prosecutions had been asked to investigate the matter. On the 4th of February 2008, Contractor General Greg Christie released the findings of a probe by his office, which pointed to several breaches of government procurement guidelines and legislative provisions. Christie also called for the Commissioner of Police, the Director of Public Prosecutions, and the Corruption Prevention Commission to determine whether criminal and corruption charges should be laid against Spencer. On the 26th of February 2008, Spencer, Wright, and businessman Rodney Chin were arrested on charges for money laundering, conspiracy to defraud, and breaches of the Corruption Prevention Act. On the 29th of February 2008, Spencer was released on bail after spending 2 nights behind bars. His bail was set at 10 million Jamaican dollars. On the 19th of March 2008, the Petroleum Corporation of Jamaica, the state-owned company that financed the light bulb project, announced that Rodney Salmon, its Director of Administration and Corporate Secretary, had been relieved of his duties as a result of the light bulb saga. On the 22nd of December 2008, prosecutors wrote to Spencer's attorneys, informing them that they would not proceed with the case against Chin and that he would now become a witness for the Crown. On the 21st of January 2009, prosecutors formally enter nolle prosecute against Chin in the corporate-era resident magistrates court, dismissing all charges. On June 22, 2009, the trial of Spencer and Wright commences in the corporate-era resident magistrates court before Senior Resident Magistrate Judith Pusey. On the 12th of April 2010, the trial took a major turn when Chin revealed, under cross-examination by Spencer's then-attorney Patrick Atkinson, that he met with Llewellyn and police investigators at the offices of his attorney in 2009 and was interviewed and notes taken. On the 12th of April 2010, Defense attorneys served Llewellyn with a subpoena to obtain information about what transpired at that meeting. The magistrate also ordered Llewellyn to remain out of court during Chin's testimony. Between the 13th of April 2010 and the 3rd of September 2013, the trial was placed on hold as Llewellyn applied to the Judicial Review Court to quash Pugh's order. On the 25th of February 2014, the prosecution closed its case against Spencer. On the 10th of March 2014, the defense files a no-case submission, citing, among other things, no prima facie case to answer, as the evidence did not support any of the charges. So, on the 24th of March 2014, Justice Pugh upholds the no-case submission, and Spencer and Wright were released. In the aftermath of the verdict, discussions were again rife as to the possible corruption in the justice system, adding fuel to the fire surrounding discussions that politicians are above the law. The Director of Public Prosecutions, Paula Llewellyn, who presented the prosecution's case in the trial, said she had no doubt that Spencer and Wright had a case to answer, as there was an abundance of evidence. She said the public through the media heard quite a bit of the evidence that was placed before the court. I will leave the public to judge.
If it is that the judge decides and makes a ruling in law that there is no case to answer, then certainly under our system we are compelled and obligated to respect that ruling.
However, defense attorneys K.D. Knight and Deborah Martin fired back, saying the evidence did not support the charges against their clients and that they were confident this was a proper outcome.
You know, we're not terribly surprised. We put a lot of hard work into this matter. We saw where the evidence was going. We saw that the evidence was not according with the law related to circumstantial evidence, and we cross-examined very carefully. We are confident that this is a proper outcome for this case.
The former Northeast St. Elizabeth Member of Parliament, flanked by jubilant supporters, emerged from the courtroom and proclaimed his innocence, saying his first priority was to spend some time with his family, pointing out that the trial had taken a toll on them.
I want to say a special thanks to my family. If it was not for the strong family unit around me, I probably would not have been here today. There were times when you felt like you wanted to give up. There were times when you heard the comments, when you read some of the things in the paper, saw some of the things on television, and you wondered, how could people really believe these things about me?
Clive Mullins, who as Energy Minister initiated a probe into Spencer's handling of the light bulb program, said he respected Pugh's decision and would have no comment on the outcome. My response would be the same if the ruling of the court were otherwise, said Mullins.
I believe that I was a sacrificial lamb in which persons in general have been just so upset with the political process and so much negatives have been sent over politicians. And I believe that it was even so much about a current Spencer, but they just wanted somebody to pay for all the sins that they believe that was committed by politicians since the beginning of independence. I haven't seen another politician whose life was dug up by every investigative arm of the government, from the Auditor General to the Contractor General to the police, to even the defense force came in, the office of the DPP, the justice system. And at the end of the day, the initial report which I filed with the party, which indicated what I was saying, and the party had cleared me, is the same finding basically that formed the no-case submission which the lawyers presented to the court and was upheld by the judge. I think it is also unfair to me. And I can understand, don't get me wrong, I can understand how persons would feel about something like this, because I believe also that I was a victim of how the case was reported. There were several times when I sat in the courthouse and when I came out in the evening and I watched the news, I read the papers, it was nothing near that what was taking place in court. I just need people to understand that I didn't get up on technicality, or it wasn't a bust the case situation. And at the end of the day, the court didn't even say current answer to these charges. They said that there was, it should not have been in the court in the first place. I found myself in an unfortunate situation, and I know deep down in my heart that I'm innocent, didn't do anything wrong.
And that was the end of that. Another Jamaican politician accused of embezzling taxpayers' money, walking away scot-free.
Teach them! Hey, yo, hello! Send the message and make it reach them. It's teach them. Right here, Warlord representing.
Thank you for watching. Please leave a comment below. Remember to like and share the video. Don't forget to subscribe for more awesome content. Follow me on social media and check out the suggested videos on screen. This is Teach saying, until next time, walk good, my friends.